Life rarely turns out exactly how you imagine it would. The timeline shifts, the dreams evolve, the priorities change, and that doesn't mean you failed it, it means you adapted. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shami and today I wanted to do a real simple sit down and talk type of video. No background noise, just a conversation. So lately I've been thinking a lot about my 20s, not in a dramatic way, but in that quiet reflective way that happens when you realize you're not new to the adulthood anymore. You're not just figuring things out, you're actually living them. And there are so many things about life in your 20s that no one really explains. Not your parents, not school, not social media, or at least not honestly. So I wanted to share some hard truths about life in your 20s that I wish someone had sat me down and told me. The kind of things I've had to learn the slow way, through experience, discomfort, and growth. If you're in your 20s, I hope this makes you feel less alone. And if you're not, maybe it will still resonate with you. So let's chat. I used to think confidence was something you earned once you fixed enough things about yourself. Like maybe once I look a certain way, once I'm more successful, once I stop being awkward. But that's not how it works. The confidence I have now didn't come from finally arriving at some ideal version of myself. It came from spending enough time with myself to stop running away from who I am. Your 20s force you into a lot of alone time, even if you're surrounded by people. And at first, that can feel uncomfortable, but eventually you'll start learning your own patterns. What drains you, what excites you, what you tolerate that you shouldn't. Confidence is really just familiarity. It's knowing how you react under pressure, knowing what you stand for, knowing what you won't accept anymore. And the truth is, confidence often grows after disappointment, not before it. This one is going to be uncomfortable but important. At some point in your 20s, you realize that no one is coming to rescue you from the life you don't like. No one is going to magically give you clarity. No one is going to make the hard decisions for you. No one is going to live your life on your behalf. And at first, that realization can feel heavy, almost lonely. But then it becomes freeing. Because if no one is coming to save you, that means you're allowed to choose yourself. You're allowed to change paths. You're allowed to disappoint people. You're allowed to start over. Your 20s teach you responsibility in a very real way, not just paying bills, but emotional responsibility. You're responsible for your boundaries, your healing, your growth, and that's scary, but it's also powerful. No one really prepares you for many relationship shifts in your 20s. Friendships change, dynamics feel different, some people just fade. And for a long time, I thought that meant something went wrong, that someone failed or that I failed. But growth creates distance sometimes, and that's not a moral issue. You're not the same person you were at 18, 20, or even 23. Your values evolve, your priorities sharpen, your tolerance for certain behavior drops. Outgrowing someone doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means you're no longer aligned, and learning to let go without resentment is one of the hardest but most peaceful lessons of your 20s. I used to think feeling lost meant I was doing something wrong, like I missed a step, like everyone else had a roadmap that I didn't. But the truth is, feeling lost isn't something you grow out of, it's something you revisit. Every time you change direction, every time you level up, every time you let go of an old identity, being lost doesn't mean you're behind. It usually means you're transitioning. Your 20s are full of these in-between moments where the old version of you doesn't fit anymore, but the new version hasn't fully arrived yet. And that space, it's uncomfortable. It's where real growth happens. This is something I wish social media talked about more honestly. Healing is not always journaling and candles and peaceful mornings. Sometimes healing looks like setting boundaries you feel guilty about, sitting with uncomfortable emotions, realizing patterns you played a role in, and choosing rest when you feel behind. You don't glow up into a healed version of yourself overnight. Healing is messy, it's repetitive, it's humbling, and most importantly, healing doesn't make you perfect, it makes you aware. Life rarely turns out exactly how you imagine it would. The timeline shifts, the dreams evolve, the priorities change, and that doesn't mean you failed it, it means you adapted. Your 20s teach you flexibility, they teach you that success isn't always loud or linear. Sometimes it's quiet consistency, sometimes it's choosing peace over proving a point. You start realizing that the life you need might look very different from the life you pictured, and that's okay. There is a difference between not having it all figured out and avoiding the truth. Your 20s are a great time to stop lying to yourself about what makes you unhappy, what you tolerating out of fear, what you actually want versus what looks good. Clarity doesn't come from having answers, it comes from asking better questions. And honestly, with yourself is the foundation of confidence, peace, and direction. Burnout is very real in your 20s. You feel like you're supposed to be doing more, becoming more, proving something, but constant motion doesn't equal growth. Some of the most important changes happen when you slow down, when you give yourself space to reflect instead of react. Rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance. This one sounds obvious, but it's sneaky. In your 20s, comparison doesn't just look like jealousy, it looks like self doubt. Should I be further along? Why is this so easy for them? Am I doing something wrong? Everyone's path is shaped by different circumstances, privileges, timing, and struggles, most of which you don't see. The moment you stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel, you get your space and peace back. And I want to end with this. If you're in your 20s and you feel confused, tired, hopeful, anxious, excited sometimes all at once, you're not failing. You're learning. You're becoming someone with depth, boundaries, discernment, and self-respect. That doesn't happen by accident. So be gentle with yourself. Give yourself time and trust that clarity comes from living, not rushing. So I want to thank you for sitting with me today. If this resonates, let me know. I'd love to keep having these conversations with you. And if you're in your 20s, remember this. You're not late. You're right on time. Everybody stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.